the Twitch stream. What is up, Twitch? How you guys doing? And we are just going to go ahead and go ahead and get started. So let's say a word of prayer, and then off we go. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving me the strength and the perseverance to continue on. I know that we are behind pace. Thank you for strengthening me and allowing me to get as far as I have already. And on we go. God, I really put this in your hands to be, again, just something that is incredibly inspiring for those who come across it. I hope that their spirits can be lifted. I hope that their faith can be reinvigorated. And honestly, I really hope that people can be just inclined to read their Bible a little bit more than they were before this series started, that they can think, oh wow, I can definitely do 15 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day or whatever that number is. So God, this is what I give you. I really put this in front of you, and I really hope that this changes all the things that you wanted to change. Be with me. I hope that I take away the things that you have wanted from me throughout this process, that I truly do write it on my heart to be a disciplined man, and that I continue to have this mindset as I continue forward, but also a man that knows how to rest and when to say enough. I put this all at your feet. I hope this is glorifying to your son's holy name, Jesus, who really gave us a template. And yeah, allow this again to just allow the rewards in heaven to continue to stack up. I know that technically this does more for us than it does for you, but all the same, God, I hope that you can find some sort of things to celebrate from this. It's in your holy name that I pray these things and say, amen. Woo! Honestly, guys, energy is kind of funny. I mean, when you're running a marathon like this, it just adds up. It really adds up. I wish that it didn't. I wish I could sit here and say, oh, your boy's doing fine. I'm not stressed, tired. Me, never. That is just simply not the case. I am absolutely drained. I'm trying to get it so you guys. There you go. So you guys can see the Bible over here. Boom. Maybe I need to scoot back. But yeah, I really do appreciate that you guys have been with me through this journey and given the grace that you do. So yeah, with that, shall we begin? Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. Prologue with purpose. The Proverbs of the Solomon, of son of David, king of Israel, for attaining wisdom and discipline. Exactly. Didn't I just say that? That is crazy. For understanding words of insight, for acquiring a disciplined and prudent life, doing what is right, just, and fair, for giving prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance for the understanding of proverbs and parables, the sayings, riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and discipline. Exhortation to embrace wisdom. Warnings against enticements. Listen, my sons, to your father's instructions, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. They will be a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in to them. If they say, come along with us, let's lie in wait for someone's blood. Let's waylay someone's harmless soul. Let's swallow them alive like the grave, and hold like those who go down to the pit. We will all get all sorts of valuable things and filled our houses with plunders. Throw in your lot with us, and we will share in the common purse. My son, do not go along with them. Do not set foot on their paths. For their feet rush into sin. They are swift to shed blood. How useless to spread a net. How useless to spread a net in the full view of all the birds. These men lie in wait for their own blood. They waylay only themselves. Such is the end of all who go after ill-gotten gain. It takes away the lives of those who get it. Wisdom calls aloud in the streets. She raises her voice in the public stairs. At the head of the noisy streets, cries out in the gateways of the city, makes her speech. How long will you simple ones love your simple ways? How long will you mockers delight in mockery and fools hate knowledge? If you had responded to my rebuke, if you had poured out my heart, if I would have poured out my heart to you and made my thoughts known to you. But since you rejected me when I called, and no one gave heed to my stretched out hand, since you ignored all my advice and would not accept my rebuke, I turned And I, in turn, will laugh at your disaster. I will mock when calamity overtakes you. When calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster sweeps over you like a whirlwind, when distress and trouble overwhelm you, then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but I will not find me, since they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of God, since they would not accept my advice and spurn my rebuke. They will eat with the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their scheme. For the waywardness and the simple will kill them, and complacently of the fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. My sons, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turn your ear to wisdom, applying to your heart understanding, and if you call out for insight and cry out loud for understanding, if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord. And find the knowledge of God. The Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds victory in the store of the upright. He is the shield of those who walk in blameless, for he guards the course of the just and protects the way of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair in every good path. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will protect you, and understanding will guard you. Wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men, from men whose words are perverse, who leave the straight paths, who walk in dark ways, who delight in doing wrong and rejoice in the perverseness of evil, whose paths are crooked, who are devious in their ways. It will also save you from the adulteress, the wayward wife, from her seductive words, who left the partner of her youth and ignored the covenant she made before God. For her house leads down to death, her paths to the spirits of the dead. No, none who go to her return and attain the paths of life. Thus you will walk in the ways of good men. Keep the path of righteousness, for the upright will live in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the unfaithful will be torn from it. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your hearts, for they prolong your life in many years and bring you prosperity. Let the love of your faithful never end you, never leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win the favor and good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health on your body and nourishment for your bones. Honor the Lord with your health and wealth. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be overflowing, and vats will brim over with new wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline. Do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves as a father. The son he delights in. Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare to her. Long life is her right hand, and her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is the tree of life to those who embrace her. Those who lay hold of her will be blessed. By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundation. By understanding he set the heavens in place. By his knowledge the deeps were divided, and the clouds dropped the dew. My son, perverse sound judgment and discernment. Do not let them out of your sight. They will be your light, an ornament for grace for your neck. Then you will go on your way in safety, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Have no fear of sudden disaster or ruin that overtakes the wicked. For the Lord will be your confidence. He will keep your foot from being snared. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it. When it is in your power to act, do not say to your neighbor, "Come back tomorrow, I will give it to you tomorrow," when you have it with you. Do not plot harm against your neighbor, who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse a man for no reason when he has done no harm. Do not envy a violent man and choose any of his ways, for the Lord detests the perverse man, make but takes the upright into his confidence. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He mocks the proud mockers. He gives grace to the humble. The wise inherit honor. The fools hold up with shame. Listen, my sons, to the father's instruction. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. When I was a boy in my father's house, still tender and only a child, of my mother, he taught me and said, "Lay hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live." Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or swerve from them. Do not forsake wisdom, and she will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. So wisdom is supreme, and therefore get wisdom. Though it costs all you have, get understanding. Esteem her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will set a garland of grace on your head, present you a crown of splendor. Listen, my son, accept what I say. The years of your life will be many. I will guide you in the way of wisdom and lead you along the straight paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Hold on to instructions and do not let go. Guard it well, for it is your life. Do not set foot on the path of the wicked or walk in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way, for they cannot sleep till they do evil. They are robbed of the slumber till they make someone fall. They eat bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. The path of the righteous is like the first gleam of dawn, shining ever brighter to the full light of day. But the way of the wicked is like the deep darkness. They do not know what makes them stumble. My son, pay attention to what I say. Listen closely to my words. Do not let them slip out of your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them, health to man's whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Put away perversity in your mouth. Keep corrupt talk from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead and fix your gaze directly before you. Make level the paths of your feet and take only the ways that are firm. Do not swerve to the right or to the left, and keep your foot from evil. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen well to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion, and your lips may perverse knowledge. For the lips of the adulteress are honey, and her speech is sweeter than oil, but at the end she is bitter as gall, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thoughts to the way of life. Her paths are crooked, but she knows it not. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep in the path far from her, and do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your best strength to others, and your years to one who is cruel. These strangers feast on your wealth and toil, enrich another man's house. At the end of your life, you will groan when your flesh and body are spent. You will say, "How I hated discipline, how my heart spurned correction. I will not obey my teacher or listen to my instructors. I've come to the brink of utter ruin in the midst of a whole assembly. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your springs overflow and the stream to your stream, the water in the public squares, let them be yours alone and never to be shared with strangers. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth, a loving doe, a graceful beard. May her breast satisfy you always, and may you ever be captivated by her love. Why be captivated, my son, by an adulteress? Why embrace the bosom of another man's wife? For a man's ways is full view of the glory. He examines all his path. The evil deeds of the wicked man ensnares him. The cords of his son sin hold him fast. He will die for a lack of discipline. Led astray by his own great folly, my son, if you have put up the security of your neighbor, if you have struck the hands and the plans of another, if you have been tapped by what you have said and snared by the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into the neighbor's hand, go and humble yourself. Please press your plea with your neighbor. Allow no sleep in your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and wise. It has no commander, no overseer, no ruler. Yet it stores its provision in the summer. It gathers its food at harvest. How long would you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep? a little slumber, a little folding of hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a bandit. Scarcity like an armed man. A scoundrel and a villain who goes out with a corrupt mouth, who winks with his eyes, signals with his feet, and motions with his fingers, who plot evils with deceit in the heart. He always stirs up dissension. Therefore, a disaster will overtake him in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. There are 6 things the Lord hates, 6, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and dissension among brothers. My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching. Bind them upon your heart forever, fasten them around your neck. Fasten them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you. For these commands are a lamp. This teaching is a light, and the correction of discipline on the way of life. Keep you from the immoral woman, from the smooth tongue of a wayward life. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyes, for the prostitute reduces you to a loaf of bread. The adulterer preys upon your very life. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? So is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. Men do not despise a thief who steals to satisfy his hunger when he is starving. Yet if he is caught, he must pay sevenfold, though it costs him all the wealth of his house. But a man who commits adultery lacks judgment. Whoever does so destroys himself. Blows and disgrace are his lot. His shame will never be wiped away. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury, and he will show no mercy when he takes revenge. Hmm. He will not accept any compensation. He will refuse bribe, however great it is. My son, keep my words and store up my commands within you. Keep my commands, and you will live, and guard my teachings as an apple of your eye. Bind them with your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your kinsman. They will keep you from the adulterers, from the wayward wife with her seductive words. At the window of my house I looked out through the lattice. I saw among the simple, I noticed among the men, a youth who lacked judgment, who was going down the street near her corner, walking along in her direction of her house. At twilight, as the daylight was fading, as the dark of the night set in, then out came a woman to meet him, dressed like a prostitute with a crafty intent. She is loud and defiant, her feet never stay at home. Now on the street, now on the squares, at every corner she lurked. She took hold of him and kissed him, and with a radiant face said, I have fellowship offerings at my house. Today I fulfilled my vow, so I came out to meet you. I looked for you and have found you. I have covered my bed, my colored linens from Egypt. I perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's drink deep of love till morning. Let's enjoy ourselves with love. My husband is not home. He has gone on a long journey. He took his purse and filled with money and would not be home till a full moon. With persuasive words, she led him astray. She seduced him with her smooth talk. All at once, he followed her like an ox going to the slaughter, like a deer stepping onto a noose, till an arrow pierces his liver, like a bird darting into a snare, little knowing it will cost him his life. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let your heart turn to her ways or stray into her path. Many are her victims she has brought down, or her slain, or her mighty throne. Her house is a highway to the grave, leading to the dead, down to the chambers of death. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice in the heights along the way? Where the path meets, she takes her stand beside the gate leading to the city. At the entrance, she cries aloud, to you, O men, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, gain understanding. Listen, for I have worthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true. From my lips detest the wicked man. All the words of my mouth are just. None of them is crooked or perverse to the discerning. All of them are right, and they are faultless to those who have knowledge. Choose my instruction instead of silver, knowledge instead of the choice gold, for wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare to her. I, wisdom, dwell together with prudence. I possess knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior and perverse speech. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have understanding and power. By me, kings reign and rulers make laws that are just. By me, princes govern and all the nobles who rule earth. I love those who love me, those who seek me, who find me with my riches and honor, enduring and wealth and prosperity. My fruits is better than fine gold. What I yield surpasses choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness along the path of justice, bestowing wealth on those who love me and make the treasures full. The Lord brought me forth as the first of his works before his deeds of old. I was appointed from eternity, from the beginning, before the world began. When there was no ocean, I was given birth. When there were no springs abounding with water, before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills, I was given birth. Before he made the earth or the fields or any of the dust of the world, I was there. When he set the heavens in place, when he marked out the horizon and the face of the deep, when he established the clouds above and fixed securely the fountains of the deep, when he gave the sea its boundaries so the waters would not overstep his commands, and when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was the craftsman at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence, rejoicing in his world, his whole world, and delighting in mankind. Now that my son listen carefully to me, blessed are those who keep my ways, listen to the instruction, and be wise, and do not ignore it. Blessed is the man who listens to me, watching daily my doors, waiting at my doorway. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. But whoever fails to find me harms himself, and all who hate me love death. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. So she has also set her table. She has sent out her hand, and she calls for the highest point of the city. Let all who are simple come here. She says to those who lack judgment, come to my food and drink my wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways, and you will live. Walk in the way of understanding. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes a wicked man incurs abuse. Do not rebuke a mocker, or he will hate you. Do not rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Instruct a wise man, and he will be wiser still. Teach a righteous man, and he will add to his learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through me your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. If you are wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you are a mocker, you are alone will suffer. A woman folly is loud, she is undisciplined without knowledge. She is at the door of her house, on the seat at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by, who go straight on their way. Let all who are simple come and hear. Says to those who lack judgment, stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret is delicious. But little do they know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of the grave. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise man brings joy to his father, but a foolish son grieves to his mother. Ill-gotten treasures are of no value, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry. He thwarts the cravings of the wicked. Lazy hands make a poor man, but diligent hands bring wealth. He who gathers crop in the summer is a wise son, but he who sleeps during the harvest is a disgraceful son. Blessings crown the head of the righteous, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous will be a blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart accept commands, but a chattering fool comes to ruin. A man of integrity walks securely, but he who takes crooked paths will be found. He who winks maliciously causes grief. A chattering fool comes to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but violence overwhelms the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up dissension, but love covers over all wrongs. Wisdom is found on the lips of the discerning, but a rod is at the back of him who lacks judgment. Wise men store up knowledge, but the mouth of the fool invites ruin. The wealth of the rich is a fortified city, but poverty is the ruin of a poor man. The wages of the righteous bring them life, but the income of the wicked brings them punishment. He who heeds discipline shows the way of life, but whoever ignores correction leads others astray. He who conceals his hatred has lying lips, and whoever spins slander is a fool. When the words are many, when the words are many, sin is not absent, but he who holds his tongue is wise. The tongue of the righteous is still choice silver, but the heart of the wicked is of little value. The choice of the righteous nourish many, but fools die for lack of judgment. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no trouble to it. A fool finds pleasure in evil conduct, but a man of understanding understands the delights of wisdom. What the wicked dread will overtake him, and what the righteous desire will be granted. When the storm has swept by and the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to those who sin. The fear of the Lord adds length of life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. The prospect of the righteous is joy, the hopes of the wicked come to nothing. The way of the Lord is a refuge to the righteous, but the ruin will come to those who do evil. The righteous will never be uprooted, but the wicked will not remain in the land. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but a perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is fitting, but the mouth of the wicked only what is perverse. The Lord abhors dishonest scales, but accurate weights are his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom, and the integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. Righteousness of the blameless make straight way for them, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by evil desires. The wicked man dies and his soul perishes. All he expected from his power comes to nothing. The righteous man is rescued from trouble and is come on the wicked instead. His mouth is guileless and destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous escape, and the righteous prosper. The city rejoices, the wealth perish, and there are shouts of joy. Through the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is destroyed. A man who lacks judgment derides his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his tongue. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a worthy man keeps a secret. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but many advisers make victory sure. He who puts up security for another will surely suffer, but whoever refuses to strike hands and pledge is safe. A kind-hearted woman gains respect. Ruthless men gain only wealth. A kind man benefits himself, but a cruel man brings trouble on himself. A wicked man earns deceptive wages, but he who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. The truly righteous man attains life, but he who pursues evil goes to his death. The Lord detests men of perverse heart, but he delights in those whose ways are blameless. Be sure of this: the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. One man gives freely, the other gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous man will prosper. He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. The people curse the man who hoards grain, but blessings crowns him who is willing to sell. He who seeks good finds goodwill, but evil comes to him who searches for it. Whoever trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like green leaf. Whoever brings trouble on his family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is the tree of life, and he who wins the soul is wise. The righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly, the sinner? Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. A good man, a good man attains the favor of the Lord, but the Lord condemns a crafty man. A man cannot establish through wickedness, and the righteousness cannot be uprooted. A wife of noble character is her husband's crown, but a disgraceful wife is like decay in his bones. The plans of the righteous are just, the vice of the wicked is deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in the wait of blood, but the speech of the upright rescues them. The wicked men are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous stands firm. A man is praised according to his wisdom, but men who are with warped mind are despised. Better to be a nobody, and yet have a servant than to pretend to be a nobody and have no food. The righteous man cares for the needs of his animal, but the kindness acts of the wicked are cruel. He who works his land will have abundant food, but he who chases fantasies lack judgment. The wicked man's to desire the plunder of evil men, but the root of the righteous flourishes. An evil man is trapped by his sinful talk, but righteous men escape trouble from the fruit of his lips. A man is filled with good things, as surely as the work of his hands rewards him. The way of a fool seems right to him, but a wise man listens to advice. A fool shows his annoyance at once, but a prudent man overlooks the insult. A truthful witness gives honest testimony, but a false witness tells lies. Reckless words pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but the lying tongue lasts only a moment. There is deceit in those who plot evil, but joy for those who promise peace. No harm befalls the righteous, but the wicked have their fill of trouble. The Lord detests lying lips, but he who delights in men who are truthful, a prudent man, keeps his knowledge to himself. But the heart of a fool pours out folly. Diligent hands will rule, but laziness will end in slave labor. An anxious heart weighs a man down, but a kind word cheers him up. A righteous man is cautious in friendship, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. The lazy man does not roast his game, but the diligent man prizes his possessions. In the way of the righteousness there is life. Along the path is immorality. A wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a mocker does not listen to rebuke. From the fruit of his lips a man enjoys good things, but the unfaithful have a craving for violence. He who guards his lip guards his life. He who speaks rashly will come to ruin. A sluggard craves and gets nothing, but the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. A righteous hate The righteous hate what is false, but the wicked bring shame and disgrace. Righteousness guards a man's integrity, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. One man pretends to be rich, yet has nothing, yet another pretends to be poor and has great wealth. A man's riches may ransom his life, but a poor man hears no threat. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is snuffed out. Pride only breeds quarrels, but wisdom is found on those who take advice. Dishonest money dwindles away, but he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but longing fulfilled is a tree of life. He who scorns instruction will pay for it, but he who respects a command is rewarded. Teaching of the wise is the fountain of life, turning a man from snares of death. Good understanding wins favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. Every prudent man acts out of knowledge, but the fool exposes his folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a trustworthy envoy brings healing. He who ignores discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored. A longing fulfilled is sweet to the soul, but food detests turning from evil. He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fool suffers harm. Misfortune pursues the sinner, but prosperity is the reward for the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. A poor man's field may produce abundant food, but the justice sweeps it away. He who spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is careful to discipline him. The righteous eat to their heart's content with the stomach. The wicked goes hungry. A wise woman builds a house, but with her own hands the foolish tears hers down. He who walks in the upright fears the Lord, but he whose ways are devious despises man. A fool's talk brings a rod to his back, but the lips of the wise protect him. Where there are no oxen, the manger is empty, but the strength of an ox comes in abundant harvests. A truthful witness does not deceive, but a false witness pours out lies. A mocker seeks wisdom and finds none, but knowledge comes easily to the discerning. Stay away from a foolish man, for you will not find knowledge on his lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to give thought to their ways. The folly of fools is deception. Fools mock at make Fools mock at making amends for sin, but good will find among the upright. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one can share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to man, but in the end leads to death. Even in laughter, the laughter of the heart may ache, and joy may end in grief. The fatherless will be fully repaid for their ways. A good man rewarded for his. A simple man believes anything, but a prudent man gives thought to his steps. A wise man fears the Lord and shuns evil, but a fool is hot-headed and reckless. Quick-tempered men does foolish things. A crafty man say that a simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Evil men will bow down in the presence of good and wicked. At the gate of the righteous, the poor are shunned, even by their neighbors, but the rich have many friends. He who despises his neighbor sins, but blessed is he who is kind to the needy. Do not those who plot evil go astray, but those who plan what is good find love and faithfulness. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk only leads to poverty. The wealth of the wise is their crown. The folly of the fools yields folly. A truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is deceitful. He who fears the Lord has secured a secure fortress. For his children will be a refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning a man from the snares of death. A large population is a king's glory, but without subjects, a prince is ruined. A patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly. A heart at peace gives life to a body, but envy rots the bones. He who oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors God. When calamity comes, the wicked are brought down, but even in death, the righteous have a refuge. Wisdom responses in the heart, discerning, and even among fools, she lets herself be known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to many people. A king delights in a wise servant, a shameful servant incurs his wrath. A gentle answer turns away wrath. The harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of wise commands knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, keeping watch on the wicked and the good. The tongue that brings healing is a tree of life. The deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. A fool spurns his father. Discipline, but whoever heeds correction shows prudence. The house of the righteous contains great treasure, but the income of the wicked brings them trouble. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so the heart of fools. The Lord detests the sacrifice of the wicked, but the prayer of the upright pleases him. The Lord detests the ways of the wicked, but he loves those who pursue righteousness. A stern discipline awaits him who leaves the path. He who hates correction will die. Death and destruction lie open before the Lord. How much more the hearts of men? A mocker resents correction. He will not consult the wise. A happy heart makes the face cheerful, but a heart ill crushes the spirit. A discerning heart seeks knowledge, but the mouth of the fool feeds on folly. All the days are oppressed. All the days of the oppressed are wicked, are wretched. But the cheerful heart has a continual peace. Better a life with fear of the Lord, with great wealth with turmoil. Better a meal of vegetables where there is love than a fattened calf with hatred. A hot-tempered man stirs up dissension, but a patient man claims a quarrel. The way of the sluggard is blocked with thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. A wise man brings joy to his father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly delights a man who lacks of judgment, but a man of understanding keeps a straight course. Plans fail for a lack of counsel, but many advisers they succeed. A man finds joy in giving an apt reply. How good a timely word! The path of life leads upward to the wise. To keep him from going down to the grave, the Lord tears down the proud man's house, but he keeps the widow's boundaries intact. But the Lord detests the thoughts of the wicked, but those who are pure are pleasing to him. A greedy man brings his family trouble on his family, but he who hates brides will live. The heart of the righteous weighs his answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes evil. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. A cheerful book gives joy to the heart and brings good. And good news brings health to the bones. He who listens to life, if rebuke, will be home among the wise. He who ignores discipline despises himself, but whoever heeds correction will gain understanding. The fear of the Lord teaches a man wisdom, and humility before honor. To man belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the reply of the tongue. All a man's ways seem innocent to him, but the motives are weighed by the Lord. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. The works out everything on ends, even the wicked. For a day of disaster, the Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not be punished through love and faithfulness. Sin is atoned for through fear. Though through the fear of the Lord, a man avoids evil. When a man's ways are pleasing to the Lord, he makes even his enemies live at peace with him. Better a little with righteousness than much gain with injustice, and a heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his step. The lips of the king speaks an oracle, and his mouth should not betray justice. On the scales and balances are from the Lord. All the weights in the bag of his making. The kings detest wrongdoing from the throne is established. Righteousness, the kings take pleasure in honest lips. The value of a man who speaks truth. The king's wrath is a messenger of death, but a wise man will appease it. When the king's face brightens, it means life, and his favor is like a rain cloud in the spring. How much better to get wisdom than gold, to choose understanding than silver. The highway of the upright avoids evil. He who guards his way guards his life. Pride goes before destruction, the haughty spirit before the fall. Be better to be lowly in spirit and among the oppressed than to share the plunder with the proud. Whoever gives heed to instruction prosper, and blessed is he who trusts in the Lord. The wise in heart are called discerning, and pleasant words promote instruction. Understanding is a fountain of life to those who have it, but folly brings punishment to fools. The wise in heart guides his mouth, and his lips promote instruction. Pleasant words are a honeycomb sweet to the soul, and healing to the bones. There is a way that seems right to man, but ends in the end leads to death. The labor appetite works for him. His hunger drives him on. A scoundrel plots evil, and his speech is like scorching fire. A perverse man stirs up dissension, and gossip separates close friends. Close friends, a violent man entices his neighbor and leads him down a path that is not good. He who winks his eye is plotting perversity. He who purses his lips is bent on evil. A gray hair is the crown of splendor, and is tamed by a righteous life. Better a patient man than a warrior, a man who controls his temper than one who takes a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but every decision is the Lord. Better a dry crust with peace and quiet than a house full of feasting and strife. A wise servant will rule over a disgraceful son, and will share an inheritance as one of the brothers. A crucible for silver and a furnace for gold. The Lord tests the hearts. A wicked man listens to evil lips. A liar pays attention to the malicious tongue. He who mocks the poor shows contempt for their maker. Whoever gloats over disaster will not go unpunished. Children are crown to the aged, and the parents are the pride of their children. Arrogant lips are unsuited to a fool. How much worse lying lips? The ruler of bribe is the charm to who gives it. Wherever he turns, he succeeds. And he who covers over an offense promotes love, but whoever repeats the matter separates close friends. A rebuke impresses a man of discernment, but the more than 100 lashes, a fool, an evil man is bent only on rebellion and merciless official will be sent against him. Better to meet a bear than to be robbed of her cubs, than a fool of his folly. If a man pays back evil for good, evil will never leave his house. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam, so drop the matter before the dispute breaks out. Acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, the Lord detests them both. Of what use is money in the hands of a fool, since he has no desire to get wisdom? A friend loves all the time, and a brother is born for adversity. A man lacking judgment strikes his hand in pledge and puts up security for his neighbor. He who loves the pearl loves sin. He who builds high gates invites destruction. A man of perverse heart does not profit. He whose tongue is deceitful falls in trouble. To have a fool for a son brings grief. There is no joy for the father of a fool. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bone. A wicked man accepts pride in secret to pervert the course of justice. A discerning man keeps wisdom in view, but a fool's eye wanders to the end of the earth. A foolish son brings grief to his father and bitterness to who bore him. It is not good to punish an innocent man or flog an official for their integrity. A man of knowledge uses his words of restraint. A man of understanding is even tempered. Even a fool is thought wise if he keeps silent, and a discerning if he holds his tongue. When a friendly man pursues selfish ends, he defiles all sound judgment. A fool finds no pleasure in understanding, but delights in airing his own opinions. When wickedness comes, so does contempt. With shame comes disgrace. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook. It is not good to be partial to wicked or to deprive the innocent of justice. A fool's lip brings him strife, and his mouth invites beating. A fool's mouth is his undoing. His lips are a snare to his soul. The words of a gossip are like choice morsels. They go down a man's inmost parts. One who One who slackens his work is his brother. The one who destroys the name of the Lord is strong. It's a strong tower. The righteous man run to it and are safe. The wealth of the rich is their fortified city. They imagine it as an unscalable wall. Before his downfall, a man's heart is proud, but humility comes before honor. He who answers before listening, that is his folly and his shame. The man's spirit sustains him in sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear. The heart of a discerning or acquired knowledge, the ears of wise seek it out. A gift open to the way of the giver and ushers him into the presence of the great. The first the first to present his case and his right, till another comes forward to pressure him, casting the lot, settles dispute, and keeps strong opponents apart. An offended brother is more unyielding than a fortified city. A dispute are carried like barred gates of a citadel. From the fruit of his mouth a man's stomach is filled. With the harvest from his lip he is satisfied. The tongue has the power over life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor and reward. A poor man pleads for mercy, but a rich man answers harshly. A man of many companions may come to union, but there is a friend who sits closer than a brother. Better a poor man whose walk is blameless than a fool whose lips are perverse. It is not good to have zeal without knowledge, nor to be hasty and miss the way. A man's folly ruins his life, yet his heart rages against the Lord. The wealth brings new friends, but a poor man's friend deserts him. A false witness will not go unpunished, for he pours out, and lies will not go free. Many curry favor with the ruler, and everyone is the friend of a man who gives gifts. A poor man is shunned by all his relatives, and how much more do his friends avoid him? Though he pursues them, but pleading, they are nowhere to be found. He who gets wisdom loves his own soul. He who cherishes understanding prospers. A false witness will not go unpunished. He will pour out lies and will perish. It is not fitting for a fool to live in luxury. How much worse for a slave to rule over princes. A man's wisdom gives him patience. It is his glory to overlook the offense. The king's rage is like the roar of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish son is a father's ruin, and a quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping. Housing and the wealth are inherited from the parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Laziness brings a deep sleep, and the shiftless man goes hungry. He who he who obeys instruction guards his life, but he who is contemptuous of his ways will die. He who is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward him for what he has done. Discipline your son, for that in that there is hope. Do not be a willing party with death. A hot-tempered man must pay a penalty if you rescue him. You will have to do it again. Listen to the advice and accept instruction, and in the end you will be wise. Many are the plans in a man's heart, and the Lord's purpose that prevails. What a man desires is unfailing love. Better to be poor than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life. One rests content, untouched by trouble. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish, and his mouth. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish, and he will not even bring it back to his mouth. Flog a mocker, and the simple will learn prudence. Rebuke a discerning man, and he will gain knowledge. He who robs his father drives out his mother. Is a son who brings shame and disgrace. Stop listening to instruction, my son, and you will stray from the words of knowledge. A corrupt witness mocks at justice, and the mouth of the wicked gulps down evil. Penalties are prepared for the mockers and the beatings. On the backs of fool, wine is a mocker, and beer is a brawl. Whoever is led astray by them is not wise. The king's wrath is like a war of a lion. He who angers him forfeits his life. It is a man who honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. A sluggard does not plow in season, so the harvest time he looks, but fields find nothing. The purpose of a man's heart are deep borders, but a man's understanding draws them out. Many a man claims to have unfailing love, but a faithful man who can find. The righteous man leads a blameless life. Blessed are his children after him. When a king sits on a throne and judges and knows all the evil with evil eyes, who can say, I have kept my heart pure and I'm clean without sin? Different weights are different measures, and the Lord detests them both. Even a child is known by his actions, whether his conduct is pure or right. Ears that hear and eyes that see, the Lord has made them both. Do not love sleep, or you will grow poor. Stay awake, and you will have food to spare. It is good. It is no good. It is no good, says the buyer. Then he can laugh and boast about the purchase. Gold is there and rubies in abundance, but lips that seek knowledge are a rare jewel. Take the garment of the one who puts security for a stranger, hold it in pledge if he does it for a wayward woman. Food gained by a fraud tastes sweet to a man, but he ends up with a mouthful of gravel. Make plans by seeking advice. If you wage war, obtain guidance. A gossip betrays confidence, and so a man who talks too much. If a man curses his father or mother, and his lamp will be snuffed out in pitch darkness, his inheritance quickly gained at the beginning will not be blessed in the end. Do not say, I will pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Lord, and he will deliver you. The Lord detests the firm ways of dishonest scales do not please him. A man's steps are directed by the Lord. How can anyone understand his own way? It is a trap for a man to dedicate something rashly, and only later consider his vows. A wise king winnows out the wicked and dries out the threshing wheel over them. A lamp of the Lord searches the spirit of man, and it searches in his most being. Love and faithfulness keeps a king safe. Through love, his throne is made secure. The glory of young men is their strength. Gray hair, the splendor of the old, blows of the womb, cleans away the beatings of the purge, the inmost being, blows the womb. Blows and wounds cleanse away evil, and beatings purge the inmost being. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. He directs it like a water course wherever he pleases. All a man's ways seem right to him, but the Lord weighs his heart. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart and the lamp of the wicked are sin. The man who is diligent leads to profit, as surely as haste leads to profit. A fortune made by a lying tongue is fleeting vapor and a daily snare. The violence of the wicked will drive them away, or they refuse to do what is right. The way of the guilty is devious, but the conduct of the innocent is upright. Better to live on the corner of a roof than share a house with a cursed wife. The wicked man craves evil, and his neighbor gets no mercy from him. When the mocker is punished, and the simple need wisdom. When the wise man is instructed, he gets knowledge. The righteous one takes note of his house, and brings the wicked to ruin. If a man shuts his eye to the cry of the poor, he too will cry out and not be answered. A gift is given in secret and soothes anger, and pride conceals the cloak of pacifies great wrath. When justice is done, it brings the righteous but terror to evildoers. A man who strays from the path of understanding comes to rest in the company of the dead. He who loves pleasure will become poor. Whoever loves wine and oil will never be rich. A wicked become a ransom for the righteous, and the unfaithful for the upright. Better to live in the desert than a burrow Notes in the life and the house of the wise are restored with choice foods and oil, but the foolish man devours all he has. He who pursues righteousness and love find life and prosperity and honor. A wise man protects the city of the mighty and pulls down the stronghold in which they trust. He who guards his mouth and his tongue keeps himself from calamity. Proud and arrogant man, mocker is his name. He behaves with overweening pride. The sluggard craving will be the death to him because his hands refuse to work all day long. He prays for more, but the righteous give without sparing. The righteous and the wicked are detestable. How much more so when brought with evil intent? A false witness will perish, and whoever listens to him will be destroyed forever. A wicked man puts up a bold front, but an upright man gives thought to his ways. There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can conceive against the Lord. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but victory rests with the Lord. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, bro. Seriously, I do. I'm trying. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Rich and poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man seeks danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. Humility and fear. The Lord brings wealth and honor and life. And in the path of wicked lies thorns and snares. But he who guards his soul stays from them. Train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not turn from it. The rich will over the poor, and the borrower is the servant to the lender. He who sows wickedness reaps trouble, and the rod and his fury will be destroyed. A generous man will himself be blessed, for he shares his food with the poor. Drive out the mocking and outgo strife, quarrels and insults are ended. He who loves a pure heart and who gives speech is gracious, for it will gracious will have the king for a friend. The eyes of the Lord keep watch over his knowledge, but he who frustrates the words of unfaithful the sucker says, "There's a lion outside," or "I will be murdered in the streets." The mouth of the adulteress is deep pit. He who is under the Lord's wrath will fall into it. Folly is down in the heart of a child, but the rod is discipline that will drive it out from him. He who oppresses the poor will increase his wealth, and he who gives gifts to the rich will both come to poverty. Pay attention and listen to the sayings of the wise. Apply your heart to what I teach, for it is pleasing. For it is pleasing when you keep them in your heart and have all of them ready at your lips, so that you may trust so that your trust may be in the Lord. And I will teach you today, even you. I have I not written 30 sayings for you, sayings of counsel and knowledge, true teaching you true and reliable words, so that you can give sound answers to him who sent you. Do not exploit the poor because they are poor. Do not crush the needy in court, for the Lord will take up their case and punish those who punish them. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered man. Do not associate one who is easily angered, or you may learn his ways and get yourself ensnared. Do not be a man who strikes his hand in pledge and puts up security for debts. If you lack any means to pay, your very bed will be stashed under you. Do not be Do not move an ancient boundary stone or set up by your forefathers. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will serve before kings, and he will not serve before obscure men. When you sit and dine with a ruler, know well what is before you, and put a knife to your throat. If you are given to gluttony, do not crave his delicacies, for that food is deceptive. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Have wisdom and to show restraint. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they are surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like eagles. Do not eat food of a stingy man. Do not crave his delicacy, for he is a kind man who's always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up a little what you have eaten, and will have wasted your compliments. Do not speak to a fool, for he will scorn the wisdom of your words. Do not move an ancient boundary stone or approach from the fields of the fathers, if the defender is strong. He will take up their case against you. Apply to your heart instruction and your ears to the words of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you punish him with the rod, he will not die. Punish him with the rod and save his soul from death. My son, if your heart is wise, then your heart glad. My inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise and keep your heart on the right path. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. Listen to your fathers who gave you life, and do not despise your mothers when she is old. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Gain wisdom and discipline and understanding, and the father of righteousness has a great joy. He who has a wise son and delights in him. Your father, may your father and mother be glad. May she who gave you birth rejoice. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes keep my ways. For a prostitute is a deep pit, and a wayward wife is a narrow well. Like a bandit, she lies in wait and multiplies the unfaithful among men. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? Who lingers over wine? Who goes to sample bowls of mixed wine? Do not gaze at the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. Your eyes will see strange sights. Your mind will imagine confusing things. You will be like one sleeping in the high seas, lying on top of rigging. They hit me, you will say, but I am not hurt. They beat me, but I do not feel it. When will you wake up so I can find another drink? Do not envy wicked men. Do not desire their company, for their hearts plot violence. Their lips talk about making trouble. By wisdom, a house is built, and through understanding, it is established. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. A wise man has great power. A man of knowledge increases his strength. For waging war, you will need guidance, and for victory, many advisors. Wisdom is too high for a fool. Its assembly is a gate. He has wisdom in the assembly at the gate. He has nothing to say. He who plots evil will be known as a schemer. His schemes, the schemes of the folly are sin, and the men detest a mocker. If your father is in times of trouble, how small is your strength? Rescue those who are being led away to death, and hold back those straggling towards slaughter. If you say, but we knew nothing about this, does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? Does not he who guards your life know it? Will not he repay each person according to what he has done? Eat honey, my son, for it is good. Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know also that wisdom is sweet to your soul. If you find it, there is future and a hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. Do not lie and wait like an outlaw against a righteous man's house. Do not raid his dwelling place. For though a righteous man falls at a time, he rises again. But the wicked are brought down by calamity. Do not go gloat when your enemy falls. When he stumbles, do not let your heart rejoice, or your Lord will see and disprove, and he will turn his wrath away from you. Do not fret because of the evil man, or be envious of the wicked. For the evil man has no future hope in the land, but the wicked will be snuffed out. The fear of the Lord and the king, my son, and no, do not join with the rebellious. For those who will send sudden destruction upon them, who knows what calamity they will bring. There are also sayings to the wise. There are also sayings of the wise to show partiality in judging is not good. For whoever says to the guilty, you are innocent, people will curse him, and the nations will denounce him. But it will go well with those who convict the guilty, and the rich blessing will come upon them. An honest answer is like a kiss from the lip. Finish your outdoor work and get your fields ready, and after that, build your house. Do not testify against your neighbor without cause, or use your lips to deceive. Do not say, I'll do to him as he has done to me. I'll pay that man back for what he has did. I went past the field of the sluggard and the vineyard of the man who has judgment. Thorns had come up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds. The stone and the wall was in ruins. And I applied my heart to what I observed and learned a lesson from what I saw. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands and rest and poverty will come on you like a bandit, scarcely like an armed man. These are more Proverbs of Solomon, copied from the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah. It is the glory of the God to conceal the matter, to search out a matter. It is glory to the kings. As heaven are high and earth is deep, so the hearts of kings are unsearchable. Remove the dross from the silver, and out comes material for the silversmith. Remove the wicked from the king's presence, and his throne will be established through righteousness. Do not exalt yourself in the king's presence. Do not claim a place among great men, and do not claim a place among great men. It is better for him to say, Come up here, then for him to humiliate you before a nobleman. What you have seen with your eyes, do not bring hasten to court, for what will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame? If you argue your case with a neighbor, do not betray another man's confidence, for he who hears it may shame you. If you never lose your bad reputation, the word hath spoken. It is like apples of gold and settings of silver, like an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold is a wise man. Rebuke to listen ear, like the coolness of snow in the harvest time, is a trustworthy messenger to those who sin. He refreshes the spirit of his masters. Like clouds and winds without rain is a man who boasts of gifts he does not give. Through patience, a ruler can be persuaded. Good morning, brother. I see you. A gentle tongue can break a bone. If you find honey, eat just enough. Too much of it, and you vomit. Seldom set your foot in the neighbor's house. Too much of it, and he will hate you. Like a club or a sword or a sharp arrow is the man who gives false testimony against his neighbor. Like a bad tooth or a lame foot is a reliance on their faithfulness in times of trouble. Like one who takes away a garment on a cold day, or like vinegar poured on soda, is one who sings songs to a heavy heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he's thirsty, give him water to drink. And do this, you heap burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. As a north wind brings rain, so a sly tongue brings an angry look. Better to live on the corner of a roof than to share a house with a girl or woman. Like cold water is to a weary soul is good news from a distant land. Like muddy spring or polluted well is a righteous man who gives way to the wicked. Who gives way to the wicked? It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it honorable to seek one's own honor. Like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who likes self-control. Like snow in the summer or rain in the harvest, honor is not fitting for a fool. Like fluttering sparrow or darting swallow, or an undeserved curse does not come to rest. A whip for a horse, a halter for a donkey, and a rod for the back of fools. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you will be like him yourself. Answer a fool according to his folly, and he will be wise in his own eyes. Like cutting off one's feet, or drinking violence, is sending a message by the hand of a fool, like a lazy leg that hangs limp in a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like tying a stone in a sling is giving honor to a fool. Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like an archer who wounds at random is he who hires a fool or any passerby. A dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. A sluggard says, "There's a lion in the grove, a fierce lion roaming the streets." As a dog turns on his head, so a sluggard turns in his bed. A sluggard buries his hand in the dish. He is too lazy to bring it back to his mouth. A sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who answer discreetly. Like one who seizes a dog by the ears is a passerby who meddles and quarrels not on his own. Like a madman shooting firebrands and deadly arrows is a man who deceives his neighbor and says, "I was only joking." Without wood or fire goes out, without gossip a squirrel dies down. A charcoal to embers and wood to a fire, and so the quarrelsome man is a king in strife. The words of gossip are like choice mushrooms; they go down a man's inmost parts, like coating of glaze over the earth and blood, or fervent lips with an evil heart. A malicious man disguises himself with lips, but in his heart he harbors deceit, and though his speech is charming, do not believe him. For the 7 abominations for his heart, his malice may be concealed by deception, but his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. If a man digs a pit, he will fall into it. If a man rolls a stone, he will roll back on him. A lying tongue he stows, it hurts. A flying mouth works to ruin. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Let another praise you, and not your own mouth. Let someone Let another praise you, and not your own mouth, someone else, and not your own lip. A stone is heavy, and the sand is burning, but provocation by a fool is heavier than both. Anger is cruel and fury overwhelming, but who can stand before jealousy? Better is an open rebuke than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. He who is full blows honey, But he who is hungry, even what is bitter, tastes sweet, like a bird that strays from his nest, is a man who strays from his home. Perfume is incense, bringing joy to the heart, and the pleasantness of one's friend springs from his earnest counsel. Do not forsake your friend and the friend of your father. Do not go to your brother's house when disaster strikes you. Better a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. Be wise, my son, and bring joy to my heart. Then I can answer anyone who treats me with contempt. The prudent seek danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. Take the garment of the stranger, the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger, and hold it as a pledge that seeks death it for a wayward woman. But man loudly blesses his neighbor early in the morning will be taken as a curse. The quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping on a rainy day. Restraining her is like restraining the men that grasp an oil with the hand. As iron sharpens iron, so the man sharpens another. He who tends a fig tree will eat its fruit, but he who is after his master will be honored. As water reflects the face, so a man's heart reflects the man. Death and destruction are never satisfied, neither are the eyes of a man. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but a man is tested by the praise he receives. Find Though you grind a fool in mortar, grinding him like grain with the pestle, you will not remove his folly from him. Be sure you know the conditions of your flock. Be careful to give attention to your herds, for riches do not endure forever, and the crown is not secure for all generation. When the hay is removed, and the new growth appear, and grass and hills is gathered in, and lambs will provide you with clothing and goats with a price of the field. You will have plenty of goat's milk to feed you and your family, and nourish your servant girls. The wicked man flees, though no one pursues him, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. But a country is rebellious, it has many rulers, but a man of understanding and knowledge maintains order. A ruler who oppresses the poor is like driving rain that leaves no crops. For whose sake who forsake the law praise the wicked, but those who keep the law resist them. Evil men do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand it fully. Better a poor man whose walk is blameless than a rich man whose ways are perverse. He who keeps the law is a discerning son. He who keeps the law is a discerning son, but a companion of gluttony disgraces his father. He who increases his wealth is an exhortation by extirpation interest and asking for another. Who will be kind to the poor? Anyone who turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayers are detestable. He who leads He who leads the upright along the evil path will fall into his own trap, but the blameless will receive a good inheritance. A rich man may be wise in his own eyes, but a poor man who has discernment sees him through. When a righteous triumph, there is a great elation, but when wicked rise to power, men go into hiding. He who conceals his sin do not prosper, but whoever confesses, renounces them finds mercy. The blessed is the man who always fears the Lord, but he who hardens his heart will fall into trouble like a roaring lion. A charging bear is a wicked man who rules over helpless people. A tyrannical ruler lacks judgment, but he who lives ill by gain will enjoy a long life. A man tormented by guilt of murder will be a fugitive till death. Let no one support him. He whose walk is blameless is kept safe, but he whose ways are perverse will suddenly fall. He who works his land will have abundant food, but the one who chases his fantasy will have his fill of poverty. And the faithful man will be rich and blessed, but one who is eager to get rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality is not good, yet a man who do wrong for a piece of bread. A stingy man is eager to get rich and is unaware that poverty awaits him. He who rebukes a man will in the end gain more favor than he who has a flattering tongue. He who robs his father and mother and says it is not wrong, he is a partner of him who destroys. The greedy man stirs up dissension, but he who trusts in the Lord will prosper. He who trusts in himself is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom is kept safe. He who gives to the poor will lack nothing, but he who closes his eyes to them receives many curses. When the wicked rise to power, many people go into hiding, but when the wicked perish, the righteous thrive. A man who remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy, and the righteous will thrive, and the people rejoice. When the wicked rule and the people groan, a man who loves wisdom brings joy to his father, but a companion of prostitutes squanders his wealth. By justice, a king will give a country stability, but the one who is greedy for bribes tears it down. Whoever flatters his neighbor is spreading a net for his feet. An evil man is snared in his own sin. A righteous one can sing and be glad. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. Mockers stir up a city, but wise men turn away anger. If a wise man goes to court with the fool rages and scoffs, and there is no peace. Bloodthirsty men hate a man of integrity and seek to kill the upright. A fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise man keeps himself under control. If a ruler listens to lies, all his officials become wicked. A poor man and an oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. If the king judges the poor with fairness, his throne will always be secure. The rod of correction imparts wisdom, but a child left to himself disgraces his mother. The wicked thrives, and so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall. Discipline your son, and he will give you peace. He will bring you delight to your soul. Where there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint. But blessed is those who keep the law. A servant cannot be corrected by mere words. Though he understands, he will not respond. You see a man who speaks in haste. There's more hope for a fool than for him. If a man pampers his servant in his youth, he will bring grief in the end. An angry man stirs up dissension, and a hot temperament commits many sins. A man's pride brings him low, but a man of a lowly spirit gains honor and accomplishes. So a thief is his own enemy. A man's pride brings him low, but a man of lowly spirit gives honor and accomplishes. The beast is his own enemy. He put under an oath and dare not testify. Fear of man will prove to be a snare. But whoever keeps trust in the Lord is kept safe. Many seek an audience with the ruler, but it is from the Lord that a man gets justice. The righteous detest the dishonest, and the wicked detest the upright. The sayings of Agar, son of Jakar, the oracle, this man is declared Ithiel and Ithiel to Michal. I am the most ignorant of men. I do not have man's understanding, and I have not learned wisdom, nor have I the knowledge of the Holy One. Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Who has gathered up the wind in the hollow of his hands? Who has wrapped up the waters in his cloak? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and the name of his son? Tell me if you know. Every word of God is flawless. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Do not add to his words, or he will rebuke you and prove you a liar. Two things I ask you, O Lord, do not refuse me before I die. Keep falsehood and lies from me, and give me neither poverty and riches, but give me only my daily bread. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you, and say, who is the Lord? For I become poor and still. Do not slander a servant to his master, or he will curse you, and you will pay for it. And there are those who curse their fathers, and do not bless their mothers, and those who are pure in their own eyes, yet not cleansed of their filth. Those whose eyes are ever so hardy, whose glances are so disdainful, and those whose teeth are swords, and whose jaws are set with knives, to devour the poor and the earth and the needy among mankind. But each has two daughters, they cry, and there are three things that are never satisfied, four that never say enough: the grave, the barren womb land, the grave, the barren womb land, which never is satisfied with water, and the fire, which never says enough. The eyes that mock a father, that scorn obedience to a mother, will be pecked out by ravens of the valley and will eat of a virtue. There are three things that are too amazing for me, four that I do not understand: the way of the eagle in the sky, the way of the snake on the rock, the way of the ship on the high seas, and the way of man with a maiden. There is the way of the adulteress. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I have done nothing wrong. Under three things the earth tremble, under four it cannot bear up. A servant who becomes king, a fool who is full of food, an unloved woman who is married, and a maidservant who displaces her mistress. Four things on earth are small, yet they are extremely wise. Ants are creatures of little strength, yet they store up their food in the summer. Convo is a creature of little power, yet they make their home in the cracks. Locusts have no king, yet they advance together in ranks. A lizard can be caught with the hand, yet it is found in kings' palaces. There there are three things that are stately in their stride, four that move with stately bearing, a lion mighty among beasts who retreats before nothing, a strutting rooster, a he-goat, and a king with his army around him. If you have played the fool and exalted yourself, or if you have planned evil, clap your hand over your mouth. For as churning milk produces butter, and a twisting the nose produces blood, so stirring up the anger produces strife. The sayings of King Lumia, an oracle, and his mother taught him, O my son, O son of my womb, O son of my vows, do not spend your strength on women, the vigor on those who rule in kings. It is not for kings or women, not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what the law decrees and deprive the oppressed of their rights. Give beer to those who are perishing and wine to those who are anguished. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all those who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly, defend the rights of the poor and the needy. A wife of noble character who can find she is worth more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wools and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from far. She gets up while it's still dark and provides food for her family and portions for her servant girl. She considers the field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle. For her fingers, she opens her arms to the poor. She extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes a seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchant with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom. Faithful instructions on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive. Beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her reward she has earned, and let her work bring her praise at the city gates. And that, my friends, is the end of Proverbs. When we come back, we would have made our way to Ecclesiastes. This is the chunk of scripture we just read, as you guys can see right there. So pretty decent chunk. And yeah, so when we come back, we shall be on Ecclesiastes. We're going to make our way. And essentially what we have left is we have the Songs of Solomon. We have Ecclesiastes, and we have Isaiah. Then we shall take a rest for the night, and then we begin Isaiah and Jeremiah back to back are going to be quite the reads. Actually, no, I think it's Joshua that's going to be happy. Either way it goes. Um, Thank you guys for being here. Love you, and we press on.